There ended up being a lot more damage inside of here. All my gaps look nice and even, going all the way around. I have a Jeep Wrangler here. This one got crushed across this rocker panel down here. It's obviously a far ways in. So this one is going to get a new B-pillar section, which comes this whole centerpiece right here, and it goes to right here. And then the quarter panel comes to right here. But luckily, they actually have a sectioning procedure to just section this bottom piece in. So it's gonna get cut somewhere right in here, and I'll just put this bottom chunk in rather than put the whole quarter panel on. And you can see here, these are my new parts. There's the B-pillar, and the quarter panel you have to buy is the whole panel, but I'll just cut this bottom piece off. First, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab this and roughly pull this out, and then I will start cutting this apart. So I am back on this Jeep Wrangler. It turned out we had to regroup on this one. There ended up being a lot more damage inside of here that we couldn't see. And the biggest problem, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but this inner rocker was completely crushed, and there's no access to even access it to even try to straighten it. So we ended up having to order a bunch more parts for this. We had to get this plate right here, which goes all the way up behind all of this. And this is high strength steel. You're not allowed to section this. You have to put the entire piece in. So we ended up having to get a new A-pillar, the A-pillar reinforcement, which goes behind there, as well as this piece. Then we also had to get this inside piece, which is same situation as this front piece. It goes back behind the quarter panel, and you're not allowed to section that either. I was gonna put the quarter panel in right here in the dog leg, and now I gotta put the whole quarter panel on as well. And you can see here, I have a mess of parts here. This is the B-pillar reinforcement. I already cut this bottom part off just to see what was back behind there when I was working on it. This is that inner rocker piece. You can see how it goes back behind all of this up here. Then this is the inside rocker piece. This is the spot that's all crushed inside of there. And this goes on top of that. Something kind of like that. Then that's our A-pillar piece. This is the inner reinforcement, which laps on top of all of that. That's this front closure panel, and that's the inner quarter piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this. I have our mechanic, he went ahead and gutted all the inside. He left the dash in until I pulled it up on this rack just to keep it mobile, and he's gonna come over here in a few minutes when he gets time. He's gonna pull this dash out the rest of the way. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting this thing apart. All right, well, this one is coming along. I have the inner rocker fit up, sitting in place. Then I have this inner B-pillar piece. This wasn't damaged. There was just 2 welds holding it attached up there, so I drilled those 2 out just to get it out of my way. So I have that sitting back in place. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna lift this piece off because I have to put some adhesive in a few spots on this. Then I'll put that piece back on. I'm gonna go ahead and get those 2 pieces welded in place, and then I will start building on top of that. Looks like I do have a few welds behind this, so I'm gonna go ahead and zap those first, then I'll put this on. I have these doors all fit up, checking all my gaps. All my gaps look nice and even, going all the way around. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna lift these doors back off, and I'm gonna lift these outer pieces off, and I'm gonna get my inner hinge pillar, the B pillar welded in, as well as the reinforcement on this one as well. Then I will probably end up fitting this stuff one more time just to get a final fitment. But I'm gonna get those hinge pillar reinforcements welded first. So I'm doing my final fitment on these, on the outer sheet metal here, and everything still looks very nice. All the gaps are nice and even. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get the quarter panel welded on, and then these front two pieces I'll have to lift back off because they get some adhesive in a few spots, a few other spots as well, and those will go back on. First I'll get the quarter panel welded, then I will do the B pillar, then I will do the A pillar, then I will put this front plate on. I have a little bit of glaze work to do to this center pillar piece. It had some minor damage on it. So I have some cavity wax here. I'm gonna hose this down inside all of the channels to coat any bare metal that's inside of there. This actually sprays in a 360-degree pattern, and I'm just gonna fish it through every channel that I could get to. Then I'll do this again after it's painted as well. But I wanted to do it right now because I have to put foam inside of a bunch of this. If you saw early on when I cut this apart, there was a bunch of foam inside of there, expandable foam, and I want to coat everything before I put that foam in there.